Okay, this is Lauren Burke. This is Lauren Live. And there will be an arraignment today in the double homicide of Monique Tepe and Spencer Tepe that took place tragically on December 30, 2025, in Columbus, Ohio. Over the weekend, the police took a man in custody who is the ex-husband of Monique Tepe, a Michael David McKee. He is the alleged suspect. He is in custody in Illinois. He was arrested at his place of business, um, and interestingly enough, not where he lived, but his place of business, which both of which are in Illinois. The arraignment is today at, I believe it's 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. Um, I'm not completely certain. That might be 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, but I think it's 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. At any rate, the big question on this murder, this double homicide, which has shocked a lot of people. Certainly, the true crime internet is blowing up as it should on a story like this. These two people were 38 years old and, I'm sorry, 39 years old and 37 years old. And this crime, according to the police documents that are public, this crime took place in the middle of the night at 3 in the morning, according to what the police have written on their documents. The video now that you're watching is by Rob Misla, who is an in-law of Spencer Tepe, who is a person who is a professional videographer. This is their wedding from 2001. And his videography, this wedding has been seen now over 40,000 times on YouTube, and I think is one of the reasons why this story has captured a lot of attention, other than the obvious, right? The obvious is that you have two young people being murdered in the middle of the night with their kids in the house, 4 years old and 1 year old. It's an extremely shocking crime, no matter who, no matter where, and no matter what. But the biggest question that has gone unanswered is, how did somebody get into the house? The house is a 3-story, one of these modern build 3 stories that is just an impressive structure in terms of it. It has the look of somebody, if you're going to buy a house like that, you typically are going to have, smart devices in the house. They did have what looks to be a Ring camera on the front door. Typically, if you have a Ring camera on the front door, you would have a Ring camera as well on the back door. The back door leads to an alley. And in the photos that you could see in the local media in Columbus, Ohio, you can see that there is a keypad on the front door. I've been very fortunate in my life to have 4 different houses in my life, in my life experience. And one has a keypad, the other has a normal, typical key. The house that I grew up with had the typical bolt lock key. Because I've lived in a few different houses and had, experience with my mother's house, my parents' house, my grandmother's house of my boyfriend. I've seen the different locks and different keys, I think, as we all have in our life. And one of the things I've learned, when you lock yourself out or you need a locksmith, it really is amazing how quickly the locksmith can get into the house, no matter what the key is. And I've had one particular experience where the keypad and lock were quite expensive lock, modern lock system. And the locksmith took all of about 5 minutes to get into the house. So my theory on this is that if in fact this individual, Michael David McKee, is the perpetrator in this crime, I really don't think it's that difficult to get into a house. I just don't. I mean, I understand that we do have modern technology that is quite impressive when it comes to locks and keys. But I think if you use a certain amount of force, remembering that this person who is the main suspect and the only suspect that we know of at this moment is 6'1", 200 pounds. So, I suspect that if he really wanted to get in the middle of the night, he could have gotten in. One of the most shocking aspects of this is a home invasion. This is a home invasion double homicide. And it is the type of thing that is beyond disturbing because, of course, if you wanted to kill somebody and you were mad or whatever, and it seems like this guy was stewing for 10 years after divorcing Monique Tepe back in 2017, you would think that you would not do this in the middle of the night at someone's private residence in their bedroom. It doesn't get any more unnerving than that scenario. And it would appear that that's exactly what he did, if in fact, again, allegedly, if in fact this is the right suspect. And frankly, I suspect that it is. But we reserve to see some, obvious evidence that should be presented at the arraignment today, and we should be hearing from law enforcement in Columbus, Ohio. They've been very quiet. I think they were quiet. I think they were right to be quiet, and they were quiet for a very good reason, which is that they knew who it was, and they were pursuing the suspect in Illinois, and they certainly didn't want him to know that. So I think they were appropriately quiet last week. They were getting a lot of criticism for that quietness. At any rate, to get back to the topic here, how did he get in? At first, I thought, when I did not know the time of the murders, I felt like it was, if it was a during the day type thing or during waking hours, you could just push in. You could ring the doorbell, push in. If somebody answers the door, opens the door, even if they only open it a crack, you can push into the house. But I think what we're going to find out, what we're going to see, is that this person is on camera breaking into the back of the house, if I had to guess. If I had to guess how he got into the house, I think he broke in through the back door. I just think it's, even with somebody who is delusional and obsessed and crazy, it is foolish to be doing anything in the front of a house, particularly when that house has a ring camera and the other houses adjacent have cameras on them. Now, it's not that the other houses adjacent don't have cameras in the back alley, because they do. And in fact, the police did put out footage of a back door camera that showed the suspect. We don't have confirmation that it is the person who is in police custody, but there's certainly a feeling amongst a lot of people that camera footage is in fact suspect. There's a building sense online that is him, Mr. McKee, walking in what is the back alley, and in fact, somebody went as far as figure out that the direction that he was walking in is toward the house and not away from the house. If that's all true, if that's all accurate, then that would indicate that he came in the back of the house. I think it would be very crazy to come in the front, even though what he did was very crazy, allegedly. So, but I do think that, man, you really got to be dialed in to be coming in the back, coming in the front of a house that has a walk up of steps that puts you elevated and therefore very easy to see by anybody looking out the window. So I suspect that what we're going to hear is something about him coming in the back of the house. The fact that this footage of him walking is him walking down a back alley. If this is him, again, it's not confirmed that this is him. But I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm going to not be surprised if we get an announcement from the police in Columbus that in fact this is the suspect walking in the back alley of the house. There was some very good YouTube true crime folks out there, that one of whom went to the house, went to the back alley, and you could see the garbage in the same position, garbage cans in the same position, and the doors in the same position, and in fact confirmed that the direction that this person is walking in is towards the house and not away from the house. That's interesting. A lot of people may know and be aware of the fact that there is a company in the country called Flock Safety that has gotten many contracts with many cities across the country to put up surveillance cameras for various reasons. Some of those reasons are traffic. Some of those reasons are license plate readers. Apparently, this suspect was apprehended. Again, we'll find out we'll have that confirmed by the Columbus police, I suspect today, or in some document, some charging document, that the way that this suspect was caught is those flock safety cameras. So the fact that he may have parked his car some distance away and walked to the house, or parked the car, even if you parked the car a really far distance away, the car can be picked up by the cameras at some point, particularly at this time of night, 3 in the morning. How many cars are going to be on the road? Not many, not many. Particularly that 3:20 in the morning. I mean, you talk about a time when you don't have that many cars to look at. What he could have done to save himself is just block the license plate, or take the license plate off, or switch the license plates. Remember with the murders at Brown University, the guy switched the license plates. They still caught up with him, but he switched the license plates. Well aware of the fact that, there's license plate readers all over the country. So at any rate, the question of how he got in, I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction. Back door, and he broke in. I can't imagine the door just happened to be open. I don't think the door is going to happen to be open. And I certainly don't think anybody let him in. And I think the answer to that question of how exactly he got in is going to be answered by the cameras, just like all the other, just like so many of the other questions that we have are going to be answered. But this murder is a huge, huge shame. It's a huge story, and it should be. It is a shocking story. It's going to be in the news for a long time, unless this suspect, hangs himself in his cell or something like that. But I doubt it, and I think that he'll probably be under very close watch. And I suspect the police in some interrogation are going to want to find out exactly what happened here. But it was a shocking, shocking crime of the double homicide of 2 people. This is Lauren Burke. I'll be back soon, I think, with Mamdani. I think he's got a presser in 8 minutes. I don't know what his announcement's going to be, but wow. A lot of folks like to watch Mamdani, like to criticize Mamdani, but he is definitely doing things that he said he was going to do. At any rate, the Tepe case, the next moment in the Tepe double homicide, will be at 11:30 Eastern. The arraignment of a man named Michael David McKee, the ex-husband of Monique Tepe. She divorced him back in 2017. The year on the calendar, yes, is 2026. Today is Jan 12, 2026. Yeah, I guess he was stewing for all this time. It's just absolute craziness. I've seen cases certainly where people's jealousy has overtaken them, but wow, what a incredible thing. So at any rate, I'll be back. This is Lauren Burke.
Somewhere. What's going on? Thank you. Are you watching now?
Yeah. No, I was watching when I left, but it's excellent. I love it. I love the traffic's blowing up. You were in Brooklyn last night. Where?
I was in Bushwick.
Okay, my grandmother's house is in Crown Heights.
Oh, yeah.
So when I saw you, I was trying to look at what the pizza place was to see where
As soon as we got there, someone recognized the pizza place. They're like, we got to get out of here. Someone had
get out. It was great.
blown up our spot.
Their show was freaking fantastic.
Thank you.
Love it, man. Love it.